ship is malfunctioning. Get to an escape pod.
Escape pod ready for launch.
Come on. We have to get out of here.
Hey everyone, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new playthrough. I know it's been a hot minute again. Again, just work-life balance is a little off-kilter, and actually a lot off-kilter, but it's been impeding my ability to get here and play some games with y'all and for y'all. So I'm about to do that today, and I have a real treat. I'm sure you've seen this. This is the game Vantage by Stonemaier Games. It is really interesting, unique, and different. It has a campaign feel to it, yet it's not a campaign, which is also really unique and interesting. A lot of cool stuff happening here. If you haven't seen it, you're about to see a spoiler-filled playthrough. I can promise you that it will be spoiler-filled, but there's so much content in the game that even if I spoil a whole playthrough from beginning to end, there's still so much going on, it will not even scratch the surface. So I just want to give you that up front and let you know that there could be things that you run into in the game that you might see here. I think that's okay because part of the way you play the game, I think, is to learn more about it. It helps you get to your objectives a little better. You learn more about the world. And the concept in Vantage is that you are on a spaceship. You're contacted by a traveler who guides you to this planet. And when you get there, your ship malfunctions and all the crew eject and land on the planet. In a multiplayer game, all the players land on different parts of the planet and don't know how to get to each other, though they can communicate with each other through their communication devices and talk to each other, but they can't see what the other players see. They can't interact with the other players' stuff. They can help other players with skills. In other words, I liken it from a perspective of they're giving advice over their comms or something when they're giving you a skill token or something like that. You'll see how it plays out. But in a solo game, they recommend not to play multiple characters, just play one, and I totally get why based on the way the game plays. Makes a lot of sense. The multiplayer part is interesting. It's very, very different. I kind of dig it. So we're going to do some things though, because we're going to get started first with some remaining setup stuff. There's a lot of stuff in the setup, I think, that is part of the gameplay. So I didn't finish it, and I'm got things ready to go, but I didn't finish it at all. And there's two major components here. There is a box of cards. I think there's over 600 cards. I don't know. No, sorry, not 600 cards. There's like 1,700 cards. I don't know. It's a lot of cards. And then there's these books as well that are related to certain skills and cards in the game, and they give you more story. But there's just all kinds of stuff in the game. It's really, really cool. Lots to do here. By the way, I have upgrade components. You're going to see wooden tokens and metal coin bits and stuff like that. That is not part of the base game if you just buy it, but you can buy those add-ons and extras. I always like that. I like to bling out my games. It's just a thing I like to do. So the first thing we have to do is we're going to go and kind of go over, I gave you a bit of the story, but we're going to go over a little bit more. It doesn't get any more detail, really. And we're going to check it out. So you start every single game of Vantage taking the book of Vantages and flipping it over to the very back page. This is where you basically complete your setup of the game. This would be for all players, right? So you start off here. It says, weeks after receiving a mysterious signal from the traveler, your ship arrives in the orbit of an uncharted planet. Create a total challenge dice pool using 8 dice plus 2 per player. Well, we have just one player, so there's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's the 8 base ones, and then 2 more for our dice pool. And I think I'm going to flip this side because it's easier for you to see the dice pool then. The dice pool will go here, and that's going to be a pool of dice that we're going to be using to roll in challenges. When we do a challenge, there's going to be challenge dice that we roll. We don't ever fail what we're doing. There's just consequences to what we're doing. So we're highly intelligent. We're always going to succeed at these things, but there could be significant consequences, and if the consequences get bad enough, we could lose the game. So that is our dice pool. Then we just go follow it along. It says each player gains a different skill, select or randomize. We're going to randomize everything. I just want to randomize it, and that's the fun part for me in the solo game, matching the character card. So we're going to get our character based on this little chart here, and you can see that there's a symbol. The blue is move. The purple with this little purple one is look. This one, the green one is help. The orange one is engage. This orange one with the down arrow, there, I don't know why it's yellow, I guess, is take. And then this red one is overpower. And then you got some things on some dice. We'll talk about those later. But we're going to roll this first and see which character we end up playing with. So we get the orange player, 1437. Let me get that guy out. Okay, here is our character. And I took the card out, even though you don't need it with these upgraded player boards. See the numbers right there in the bottom corner. They go in the stack in the card deck. 1437. There's a number of things on this card. I'm going to go over it very quickly. We'll see more as we go. These two slots are to hold our challenge dice when we need them. So, for example, if we are rolling an engage type action, which you can see over here, we can buy. That's an engage action, for example. Then we can place one of the bad dice here to hold it and not suffer the penalty. In this case, if we do it with specifically, we get something called a boost cube. Boost cubes go here. Okay, this says our character. Our character's name is Emilian the Scholar. And we also have this. That lightning bolt means you can just place it when you need it. It's a one-time thing until the dice pool's empty. We'll go over that later. And you can place this star, which is morale, a morale die in there. We have certain actions that the player can do. These are player-based actions. So, for example, if we want to buy something, we would go to the engage book, look up our character number, and it would allow us to purchase something. Of course, we don't have any money yet, so we wouldn't do that. But we might want to equip or do something else. Then it says this means that we can hold one card outside of our gear grid. That's what that little plus card means. And it says when placed, which is right now, we would place 2 boost cubes here that allow us to do these special actions. So we're going to place that there. We're going to take 2 boost cubes. Now you don't have to place the character card down because it is actually printed there, but I'm going to do it anyway, just for the heck of it. And that goes there. And then we have a couple of actions we can do. We have his 2-point action where we can get, I think it's a coin. Yeah, a coin, or we can get a token for the skill of move, which is right here, for 2 boost cubes. And also we get, for boost cubes, we can re-roll. And if we actually roll the same symbol again, then we would get a engage token out of that. That's pretty cool. So that's our character. We're not done with that though. So we also get a skill, which is going to be one of these. For now, I'm just going to put it right here. We'll put them off to the side in a minute, but we're gathering our skills. So it says place the card in the middle of your grid. This is our grid. Now, again, these boards do not come with the game normally. You have to get them extra. It's a little package that has all the 6 characters in there, and their boards in their color. Pretty neat little idea. I like the gear grid thing. Makes it more clean, and the cards don't slide all over the place. Now we're going to go on to step 3. Each player sets their time, morale, and health trackers matching the character's colors. So we got, I believe it's going to be this color, orange. Yeah, orange. Doesn't matter because we're only playing by ourselves. And we have to pick a difficulty level. Brazen is 3, daring is 4, 5 is practical, 6 is cautious. We're just going to play on the normal level, which is recommended as daring. So it's going to be on the 4. And we'll take those tokens and we'll put them up on the 4 slot. Now, if ever these go to 0, we're going to have something happen. It doesn't mean we lose right away, but something will happen that may not be good. Okay, now we've done that, we're going to go on to step 4. The first player gains 2 skills at random and places the matching mission, see the right sidebar in the center. That's our first card, right? They may reroll pairs because pairs are harder. Then everyone goes location 1. So we're going to get 2 more skills right now based on what we roll on here, and that's going to tell us where we land and what happens to us. So it's going to be very, very interesting. We'll see how it goes. All right, let's roll and see. So we got these two symbols here, which are going to be what? There. So it's going to be 1584. The order doesn't matter. It's just the symbols. So we're going to have 1584, but we're also going to gain these 2 tokens as well. So we got 3 skill tokens right now. We're going to end up with 4 by the time we're done, and then 6, I think, by the time we get playing. So again, we're going to go to 1584. Let me get that card out. This is our mission. We're going to collect a menagerie of animals. This is what we have to do to win, basically. Have a total of at least 1 loyal animal plus 1 per player. So there's going to be 2 because we have 1 player. In our grids or reserves, meaning outside of our grid. If you do read 1584 in the Book of Secrets, and you can see that we can, when we encounter animals or something, we can try and do these extra skills with them. That mission card is going to go right up here in our mission spot. That is our mission for the whole game. That is what we're trying to accomplish. And then it says, now everyone goes to 001, which can be found on the back of the Book of Secrets, another book in the game, which you can see right to the right there. We're just going to pop that out right now. All right, here is the Book of Secrets. Now, eventually, I'm going to move this grid over. It's going to take up more of the space here. But we have these holders. Normally, when you're playing your locations, you put the card in the holder so the other players can't see it. I may do that just to show you what that looks like. I don't know if I'll keep doing it throughout the game. However, we're at mission 001. The ship malfunctions. You have mere seconds to escape. You see the malfunction there. We have to jump into our escape pod. Each player gains a different skill. Select or randomize. We're going to play random, you know that. Place the matching location in their card holder and simultaneously follow the instructions on the card. Great. So we're going to do that. We have 6. So we are going to get a yellow skill token, which is a take action. So we got that now. And then we're going to go to card 6. And before we go to card 6, we should say each player should now have 2 skill tokens for this location. Step 2, the first player, which is the one we actually are, should have 4, and we do. So we're done now with this book for the moment. We're going to put that back up there. We're going to move our location into the center of the table. And the art matters. You can see we have this volcanic area down here. It's a beautiful valley with some mountains. It's a vantage. We have a vantage view of the place. It's pretty interesting. And it says, your escape pod seals tight, ejecting towards the planet in a completely different direction from the others. Gain 2 random skills and crash into the matching location. You may re-roll pairs to get an easier location. Keep this card 006 in the holder to obscure the backs. So a lot of these cards are double-sided except for these ones. So they have this back, which is why you put it in the holder so that when you put another card on here, no one sees the back. So that is our card where we're going to crash land. Now we're going to roll 2 dice again and find a new location. So you can see already that if you play this, you're going to end up probably with a different character, different starting location, different information, right? So let's do that. So we're, got a doubles. Do I do it? Do I do it? They're harder. The double ones are harder. And that is going to be it's like the top one. I might lose, but I'm going to do it just to show you all how that works. I know every other playthrough I've seen, they've re-rolled. So I'm not going to do it. Though I've only played this game once so far, so I will probably lose. But we're going to get 613 out. And we're going to get 2 more move tokens. So we got now 6 tokens. We're just going to put them here along the side now instead of in our grid because our grid will fill up. So with that, we're going to get card number 613, a location card. That's going to be where we crash land. So we have this really neat little card here that we can put in the middle where we pulled our card out so we know where to put it back because you're going to be putting cards back and forth quite a bit. So while I get 613 out, I'm going to see where we're going to land someplace really bad because, of course, I'm picking the hardest thing to do, which I typically do. I don't mind losing on screen as long as it's fun, and it's going to be fun. So we're going to, again, go to 613. Now, remember, these are double-sided, so you got to be careful not to show off the other side too much. I'm just going to pull it up to 613 and show you this. This is our location. Now, let's go over the location. Suffer 1 cold damage. Oh, we're already in a bad spot. Okay. So we're going to take a health, I believe, immediately. Snowdrifts have already covered a broken piece of advanced technology. So we have all these things that we can do here as an action. You can only take 1 action per location in the game, unless the location tells you differently. We have 1 direction we can go, which we know, which is 612. We can just go that way. or we can go in these other directions by going into a book and finding out where we go. These might be higher challenging. This one is only 1. We know if we move that way, we're going to have a challenge die of 1, and we're going to go to 612. So that may guide us depending on what happens here, but I do need to look this up. I believe that means I immediately take a cold damage right now as we land on the planet, which means my health will be down 1. So let me just double check that, and then I will be right back. By the way, it's worth noting that while it says not to go into the Book of Secrets, there is a glossary. If you just flip to the page, I think it's page 10, and just go to glossary, then you don't have to worry about spoiling anything, but you have a glossary of terms. I think it's very useful. So we have some choices here. Now that we're here and we have our 6 skill tokens, we can immediately move out. Now, we're only going to suffer this penalty once, which I have to do right now. We did lose a health. That kind of sucks. So I moved the health marker down to 3, and we're going to start our game. Now, I think what we're going to do, let's take a look here. We have the ability to push. Push what? Push ourselves, push the snow. Oh, we have the half-covered broken piece of technology, so we push this stuff out of the way and get the technology. We can focus. I have 2 move tokens. That might be a good way to go. We can activate it. That is me. I'm the guy that does that type of thing. I do have 2 skill tokens for that as well. Repair, hack, or raise. I think we're going to activate it because that's our specialty. We're a scholar. We have these skills. We have these 2 skill tokens, and if I re-roll, remember, if I re-roll and I roll the same symbol again, when I re-roll, I get one of these. On the challenge dice, rather. So how's this going to work? Okay, now normally someone else would pick up the book related to the orange skill, which is engage, but it's just going to be me, so I'm going to get out the engage storybook, and I'm going to look up location 613. Now, I'm going to get to find out the only information I'm going to read, and I'm not going to show you the entry because there's so many entries around it, I don't want to spoil it for you. But so we're going to go to entry 613 in this book, which will be related to this specific location. This is a challenge 3, and we're going to activate the device. So basically what this means is that we're going to have to roll 3 dice, and that's going to be our challenge. Now, what we can do is spend a token to remove dice from the pool. I think we'll spend at least 1. Let me think about that. So we're going to put this one back in the pool. It means we're only going to roll 2 dice. Could be bad for us, though I do have some slots. Yeah, we're going to do that because I can place from my character, remember, on an orange thing, I can place that and get a boost cube, so it might be worth doing. We're just going to roll those. Those are bad. Okay, well, we don't want to take... Well, actually, this isn't bad at all for us to start with. It's not great, but look what we can do. Boom, that's going to go there, so we do not suffer the penalty of that, and this one will go here and give us another boost cube. And again, you never fail. You always succeed. So going back to 613, now we've done the challenge. It says... A beam of bright light bursts from the top of the runecaster. I didn't know it was a runecaster, but now I do. Nothing happens for a few minutes, but then a door opens in the nearby building. You may go to interior 580. You may go. So that's fine. I think we're going to do that. That'll be a move action for us, I guess. Or do we just go? It says may. I guess we can just choose not to. Oh, we could just choose to leave the space. I think we automatically do this if we choose to. So we're going to get 580 out and move to that and see what happens. Okay. I need to get where's my little holder, my card. All right, I got to place my little card in there so I can know where we're at, and I'll be right back. Okay, here we are, 580. You've seen computer mainframes before, but nothing close to this scale. This is going to be right there. And because I want this video to be short, I'm going to leave this in a bit of a cliffhanger. Now, technically, I would put this other card back, and we just have this one out, but I'm just going to do this right now, because the only way to... I can leave through the other side, which I may do, because I may want to avoid the penalty, the damage penalty, of going back to 613, which, remember, on activation, you lose a health. That would be 2 health. That's pretty bad. But I can do a lot of things here, and I'm glad I saved a token, because I'm probably going to sync with the machine and see what happens, but we're going to do that in the next episode. I know this can be short, but I did a lot of explanation, so we're going to dive next time it'll be mostly gameplay. It'll be a lot of fun, so let's get ready to see what happens when we deal with this mainframe. Take care, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.